Do you have any questions for me, Joey Provoski? Plu allowed his body to mold into one of the chairs. It looked strange seeing the blob-like creatures sitting down. Why did you lie to them? Joey had a lot of questions. They may as well start with the most obvious. It seemed like the easiest solution. They were quite distraught about the situation. I did not see any reason to distress them further. I keyed in the sequence. I could feel the guard had never released its contact with me. The entire time, I felt you in my mind. It's hard to explain, but it was as if you were part of me. Once the black hole container opened up, I knew it was all over. Did you see what I saw? I did, Joey Provoski. I had not expected it to be so abrupt. The entire section of the tail you were in, your body, and that of the guard disappeared in an instant. It was just like that. Gone. It wasn't as if I had died. It was just like being there one moment and then nothing. So what did you do? I explained to the others, as I will explain to you now. Once you entered me, I knew everything about you, your physiology, your mental abilities, and the longer I had you inside me, I was able to incorporate all of your memories and experiences. Although when you left me, I was no longer part of you. Each of you remained as part of me. I don't think that answers my question. Joey Provoski, you are now part of me. I was able to replicate every part of your body. If you like, I can replicate your missing hand, but your friends would grow suspicious. I recreated the body you had before the black hole took it away. Then, I restored all of your memories, right up to the moment the black hole took them away as well. I did this without your permission, and I hope that you are happy with the result. Your friends were pained over your loss, so I felt the best resolution was to recreate you for them. As far as any of them know, you are Joey Provoski, and in every sense, you are still Joey Provoski. Joey thought there would be more to it than that. As best he could tell, he had all his memories and his body, and, except for missing all its hair, it was the body he remembered. He looked at the stump at the end of his arm. There was no scar tissue. It was just rounded off with fresh, new skin. All of his skin felt soft and new. Plu had done an excellent job in recreating his body, but the fact remained. He had died. He hadn't just died, but he was, in fact, dead at this moment. His original body no longer existed. He would live for the rest of his life with that knowledge. So, what happens now? Joey asked. I don't understand the nature of your question. If you are asking what you should do, that is entirely up to you. Even though you are truly a replicant of me, you are still Joey Provoski. You are free to do whatever it is you wish to do. I could not allow you to cease to exist. You did, after all, perform an act that your friends considered selfless to save everyone involved. If I had known the loss of your body would be an end to you, I would have taken your knowledge and performed the task myself. I would not have allowed you to be in danger. If you're asking me if you should tell your friends what truly happened, that is all entirely up to you. To them, you are Joey Provoski. I took you and healed you. Based on what I learned from all of you and your experiences with the crew of the SS Acid Rat, what I say is true. There is no reason to cause them any further sadness about the situation unless you feel they need to know the exact details of your resurrection. Joey picked at the food on the plate. He'd been hungry, but nothing looked good. All he could think about was the fact that he'd died. Did it make any difference that he had an entirely new body? What was the difference, then, if he drowned and someone had resuscitated him? He would still have died and been brought back to life. Plu just happened to do it in an entirely different manner. All his memories were still in his head. Wasn't that what made him Joey? All his memories and experiences? Thank you, Joey said softly. You are most welcome. Thank you for saving my world. In your terms, I guess this makes us even. Joey laughed. I guess it does. The two sat in silence for a long time. Joey eventually ate the food June had prepared for him. She had never liked his artificial hand. He thought it would be cool, make him sort of like a Star Wars character or something. Now he had the chance to have his hand back in full working order, and why shouldn't he? How would June feel about his suddenly being whole once more? She might freak out about it, but what would she think if his entire body had been replaced? Sure, his memory were all his, but she had a problem with artificial things. He would just have to put off telling her for as long as possible. Muffin beeped. The repairs to the ship have been completed. Victor would like the two of you to join the rest of the crew. Plooploopanu stood up and waited for Joey. I guess we should get over there. Just one final question. What would you like to know? Are you still inside my head? I mean, if I'm made from you, am I like all your other replicants? You do not need to worry about that. One thing I learned from you and the rest of the crew of the SS Acid Rat is that all of you like to be alone inside your heads. You are. I have not allowed myself to be part of you any longer, and I think that might be what is best for the rest of those on my planet. They will still come to me in the end, and from me they will be born. But I think it is time I allowed them to be on their own. It will be a difficult separation, but I have learned this will aid in their growth. Joey nodded. Perhaps there is still more we can learn from each other. I did ask the rest, and all, save June Miller, were most receptive to my offer. Joey Provoski, would you allow me to make more replicants of you to live here, inside my planet? Joey hadn't expected anything like this. It would almost be like coming immortal. Perhaps he could return here when he was older and have his body rejuvenated and continue living past his years. As it was, he had no idea how long his new body would survive. Would this new body be better adapted than the old one was? What would it be like to have copies of himself running around? That's when the idea felt weird. He could understand the allure of having copies of himself running around, perhaps even helping Plooploopanu grow and become something different, but he just couldn't accept the situation. He was already one of Plooplooplu's replicants, and that would have to be enough. I'm sorry. My memories may be part of you now, but I don't like the thought of there being more than one of me out there. Very well. I will respect your decision. Let us join the others. Plooploopanu moved to the door and opened it. Vic's laughter from the galley stopped and everyone turned to the lounge. Plooploopanu joined the rest of the crew. Joey went to the passageway and stood with the blanket wrapped around him. I think I'm going to get dressed. Hey kid, go get some clothes on. We need to get off this rock and get our ship repaired. I'm going to need you to keep an eye on this new propulsion system until we get it replaced with a permanent solution. I'll be right back. Joey scanned the room and saw everyone in there except June. He discovered where she was once he got to their room. She sat on the edge of the bed, just staring at the floor. She didn't look up when he entered the room. I thought you were dead. I know. No, you don't know. I thought you had died. You were gone. I wasn't close enough to feel you. When we're all on the ship, I can pretty much tell where everyone is and how they're doing. I had no idea how you were. She stood up and covered her face with her hands. Joey, I thought you were dead. He crossed the room and held her. It would be difficult to tell her he had died, and now wasn't the time. Even when Vic brought you back to the ship, I couldn't feel you. I was surprised that he had you in his arms. I had to dig deep just to find you. Maybe you were in shock, maybe your mind wasn't there, but even though we had you back, you weren't there. It was like I was reaching into someone else's mind. Even now you still feel different. I can't explain it. He could feel the heat of her breath on his skin and the tears that ran down her cheek onto his chest. He never thought he'd get to touch her again, to hold her. Now he never wanted to let her go. He just wanted to keep her in his arms forever. Hey kid, I need an engineer. Please tell me you're getting dressed. I know it's been a rough day, but we've got to outfox that sheriff, get this ship fixed, and get Plu and his planet back home. Perfect timing as always. I'm on my way, Vic. June pulled away and wiped her face with the back of her hands. Go. We all need you. Joey dressed. His clothes fit just as well as they always had. Somehow he thought dying would make them fit better. Ever since coming out of the pod, each passing minute he'd felt more and more like himself. Almost as if Plu was making adjustments, or he was still getting used to his new body. Either way, it was good to be alive. He had a job to do, and he had to get at it.
You've been listening to Hollow, V&A Shipping, Book 2, written and read by J.R. Murdoch. For more information about this production and its author, visit jrmurdoch.com. There are a lot of ways you can choose to spend your time. Thank you for choosing to spend it with me.